Okay, you've decided to hire another piano teacher for your studio, but how do you find the right person? Hey there, I'm Phoenix and I'm the Tattooed Piano Teacher. In this video, I'm going to give you some ideas and tips on how to find just the right piano teacher to hire for your studio if you're ready to grow your business. Stick around to the end. I'm going to share a little horror story of what not to do where I wasted hundreds of dollars and lots of hours trying to hire. This video is the third in a series on hiring another piano teacher. Video 1 was all about the pros and cons of hiring in the first place, and then video 2 was, are you ready to hire? So if you need to go back and watch those first, those will be linked in the description. If you already know that it is time for you to hire, then you are in the right place. Now, before you go posting things all over town, there are a couple of things that you want to do to prep for those incoming inquiries that are going to be coming your way. The first thing you want to do is put something on your website. If I were a piano teacher and I moved to a new town, first thing I would do was Google piano studios, piano lessons, and then I would look at those people's websites. So know that potential piano teachers might be coming to your website. You want to have something ready for them to click. And the other thing you want to do is set up your job application form on Google Forms. It's the easiest way to do it. And then you're going to link your button on your website to the Google form. Now, here's why having a Google form is so important in not wasting your money and your time. The Google form is going to be a bunch of preliminary questions, almost like a pre-interview. They are going to have to put in a little time and effort to get that Google form filled out, looking good. They can attach their resume and hit send. This is just going to weed out the people that are like the 3-word email type person, I'm interested. You know, you don't want this to turn into like a Facebook marketplace texting back and forth situation. Some ideas to put on your Google form would be basic information, like if they're not willing to give you their phone, email, and address, that might be a red flag. Just the fact that they're willing to give you that information tells you that they're serious. And then ask them questions. Ask them about their musical background, what instruments they play, and then get into some like teaching philosophy questions. Ask them, if a student did this, what would you do? Your studio has your needs, but that's just to give you some ideas. You are ready. You've got that all set up on your website, Google Forms. You're ready to go out there and get some inquiries for your job opening. Now, here's where our industry is a little bit different than the typical job opening or business hiring, is because you can't just slap a posting on a general job website and get a bunch of part-time applicants. We are a very specialized service. You don't want anyone off the streets taking up your time with an interview, wasting your time. So go look in places that normal businesses hiring would not be looking because of how specialized piano teaching is. Here's some ideas of where to look in order of do this first to do this last. Number 1, make a list of all of your personal connections related to music, piano, your students, their families, friends of their families, any personal connection that could possibly know a good candidate for your piano teaching job opening. Make a list and reach out. Do you have any students going into high school or going into college that are interested, right? So think in a different way. Look at every person in your life as a potential hire or friend of a hire or friend of a family of a friend of a hire. If you can find someone this way, there is such a greater chance that things are going to work out well, that they are going to be the right person. If you just stop this video right now and do that, hopefully that will get you your perfect person. If you've exhausted all personal connections, nothing really came of that, then here's place number 2, social media. So what I do is on Facebook, I'm a part of all these groups that families would be on in the area. And then every so often I'll go on Facebook and I'll search for piano or lessons or music lessons or anything like that and just see if any posts come up. You never know what you might find. But by the same token, if you have like a loyal following in your community, you might put the word out there on your social media pages that you are hiring. Another idea would be to start digging around on LinkedIn and follow connection after connection. See if you can find anyone in your area that seems like they would be a good candidate and then reach out. Okay, the third place you're going to reach out would be local groups. So any like local music teacher groups, piano teacher groups, they can often be a really, really good source, and they understand the specialization. I'm a part of a piano teacher group, and every so often they'll send out an email of like, hey, we have this student who needs a teacher. Why not contact them to reach out to the group and be like, hey, we have this studio that needs a teacher. Fourth place you're going to look is local schools. It's quite possible that you could find someone who has like a part-time classroom music teacher job, and they're probably not making enough money to support their family. They could probably use, an evening or two of teaching. You already know they're a great teacher and they already have music education under their belt. So you can go to websites or you can talk to people, reach out in that way. You might find someone just down the block at your local elementary school who would be willing to teach a few piano lessons a week. The fifth place would be local colleges. So a lot of local colleges even have like a bulletin board where you can put up like accompanying gigs or whatever in the music building. So why not find someone who's going for a piano degree, probably needs a little part-time job in the evening. You get to help mentor someone. They get a great teaching gig, right off the bat. So colleges. Number 6 is Craigslist. Does Craigslist still even exist? I mean, they kind of do. Now, you're not going to post a job posting on Craigslist. No, don't do that. But you could look, they have like a lesson section, and then they also have like a musicians group. You could see if anyone's hanging out in those chats. Look for somebody who is offering piano lessons, but they look like they don't have an official studio situation. If they're on Craigslist, it's not just Craigslist, like any other place where somebody would post something like this, like, hey, I give piano lessons. Craigslist used to be the place. I don't know if it is anymore, but any place where someone would be like in an informal environment being like, hey, I give piano lessons. So you can see, okay, A, they give piano lessons. They're a piano teacher. B, they're looking for students, and they're probably having a hard time finding them. So they could take advantage of your waiting list. And C, you can kind of tell by the post that they're just like teaching out of their dorm room, living room, like they don't have an official studio setup. So they could maybe be enticed to enter your studio system. You're going to get them new students. You'll do the marketing. You'll do the billing. You have the setup for them. And so it can be a win-win. All right, now if you truly exhausted all of these and you haven't found anyone yet, I have one more idea, but this is where you might get some candidates that aren't right for you, but it's worth a shot. Any place where you can post a job listing that's gonna go to a localized group of people, maybe like Nextdoor or a neighborhood system or something like that. As long as you're not putting it out there on like a national job posting website where you're going to get all sorts of people who don't even live near you. And if you tried all of those and you're still coming up dry, then my advice to you is to be patient. Put the feelers out there in all of these categories. Just let it happen. The right person will come at the right time. So just keep your ear to the ground, keep your eyes open, and be patient. Okay, time to share what exactly not to do when you decide you're ready to hire a piano teacher. Before I share my little story, hit the like button if you like this sort of thing, behind the scenes piano teacher, info, tips, and stuff like that. So when I first decided to hire, I did my research, as I always do, and I looked at blogs and, small business posts and all this stuff. I came up with the idea that I was going to do just like the big businesses did, and I was going to post on one of these big job posting websites. Okay, you know the ones. Actually, I posted on 2. And if you have any familiarity with these sorts of websites, you'll know that they are very expensive to post on. They offer like a personalized experience. You got like an agent assigned to you who's like calling you all hours of the day. Like, let's talk about your postings and how to get your ideal candidates. But I ended up spending hundreds, maybe $400 on these listings. And I'm talking like a very short amount of time I had these up. And the candidates that I ended up getting from these listings were kind of laughable. People in other countries who somehow wanted to teach like online for my studio. I mean, maybe that would work in some scenario, but I'm like, no, people, I am looking for somebody to come to my studio to teach, not online. And the job posting said that, but like because it was going out to everybody, there was just no localization. And then I did get one piano teacher who was local, who made it through quite a ways into the application process. And I thought, ooh, this could be it. I was really excited to meet her, but then found out we did like a video chat initially. I found out she already had her own branding, her own studio space, her own complete set of students. And so I was like, I don't know what I have to offer you. I mean, maybe we could partner in some way, but I ended up saying like, it was nice to meet you. It's nice to meet other piano teachers, but you're in this live and learn. I spent hundreds of dollars and got no candidates. But then organically, I found my 2 teachers that I hired. The 2 ways that I found my teachers, one of them was just through my personal connection, a person I knew, and the other one was through a comment on a Facebook post in a parents group tagging somebody who then I reached out to. So it can come in the weirdest ways at the weirdest times, and you just have to be patient. But definitely wait for the right person. And don't hire someone just because you feel like I'm ready to hire someone right now. That's my advice on that. The next video in my hiring series is going to be about the hiring process. So once you find a candidate who seems like a good fit, what do you do next? That's what we're going to talk about, and I will see you there.